Hi, welcome to course selection night. My name is Doug Alliath. I'm the math department head at Cedar High School, and we'd just like to give you some suggestions for what class your child could take next year. So, this is what we would call our basic pathway to graduation. Basically the bare minimum you could do to be able to graduate from Cedar High School. We would recommend you take Algebra 1, Geometry, and then finally go on to Algebra 2. This pathway would typically include level 2 classes. Okay, so we're on to our second pathway, and we're going to call this in the math department our college prep pathway. These are traditional level classes. These are not classes that typically would involve level 2. It is possible to move from a level 2 into this pathway, but for the most part, these are traditional level classes. We would recommend that you start as your freshman year in Algebra 1. Sophomore year, you would take Geometry. Junior year, Algebra 2, and if you wanted to, senior year to pre-calc. But we would like to highlight the one change in the color here, and that would be if you wanted to double up to get to calculus, that would happen in your sophomore year. You would take Geometry and you would take Algebra 2 in your sophomore year, and then you could make it to calculus, which would be a great thing if your desire was to go on to college. So welcome to our third and final pathway. These are typically for students that would be, their goal is to get to college, have a lot of success in college, and maybe even get some high school classes that would give them college credit. So they would have typically taken Algebra 1 already in middle school, probably start here, maybe taken Geometry in middle school. But for the most part, this would be a Geometry A, an Algebra 2A, a Pre-Calc A, an AP Calc. The expectation is these are kids that are more in the honors classes. The goal would be that somebody would want to join this pathway if their anticipation was to want to pursue a career in a STEM field. The other option is at the very, very end, and we want to make sure we mention this to everybody, regardless of which pathway you choose, it is extremely important that every pathway should talk to their teacher to get the correct recommendation from their teacher for which class to head to next year. So please consult your teacher. We can't say that enough. We thank you for coming to our mathematical neighborhood. Be good, be safe.